Right now, I'm not a chilly person. Yeah, I really haven't been in a great mood for the last 5 days. To be honest, the last, I don't know, 2 weeks, I've recorded a few videos in that time period. Funnily enough, the first video wasn't recorded even in this month. It was recorded like back in March. I've took a very long time to release it. I'm not in a great mood. It's been very hard, a very shitty week. And it's just, I really wanted someone to tell me during a lot of moments in this thing that it was all gonna turn out okay. And I really didn't have that, which sucks. However, this is not gonna be the same for you. I'm here to say it's gonna be okay, I guess. Yeah, no, not I guess. It's gonna be okay. Every now and then there are gonna be days that just don't work. Days in which you simply cannot. You wake up and you don't want to get out of the bed, and then you have to get out of the bed, and then when you do, it's all bad. Well, I know, I've been there this week, but you're gonna be okay. I'm already way better. Funnily enough, I've actually thought about doing something very dangerous in this period of time. I have a box of kijapine, I don't know if that's how you say it. That. I have a box of that, an old box of that I used to take, like way back then. I say way back then, but it was like 2 years ago, I think, maybe less. I used to take those mood stabilizers things. And I mean, my psychiatrist back then told me, okay, I'm gonna give you one more prescription, so anytime you have like a big crisis, take one of those for a while. Also, can you see? No, yeah, it's this side. There's a mirror here. I squeezed my skin like quite a lot. I picked my skin a lot. I do that when I'm not feeling I get very anxious. But yeah, as I was saying, what was I saying? There was these mood stabilizer tablets here in my place. And I really thought about self-medicating. The reason I'm saying this is because you shouldn't. I ended up not actually taking any of those. If you have those and you really feel like you need to, make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you actually have the prescriptions. What I mean is, don't take just some meds that you have at your home because you bought it and, you have them. Or even if you didn't buy them, I know of cases of people who've taken, their siblings' medication, or their parents' medication, and it didn't end well, so be careful with that. If you really need to, though, and you think it's gonna be better for you, do it. I decided not to do it though. I started feeling a bit better, and I talked to my psychologist. I sent her a message, and she said something in the likes of, oh, just be careful. That she understood that maybe I needed it, that if I really thought I was getting into a really dark moment, which for a second there it seemed like I would, but now I'm okay. I could take them, but she also said just be careful not to start having a psychological dependency, which is a real thing. I don't know if you know what it is. It's when every time you get a crisis, you take the meds and you start to think that you can only be happy, you can only work, your mind can only, work properly when you're taking the meds, which, I mean, to some people might be true, I suppose, but not to everyone. And, psychological dependency, more so than chemical dependency, is very, how do you say it, subtle. It's very hard to notice it coming, because it's not so much a thing of, oh, I take it every day, or if I don't take it I feel bad, which is something that happens, you probably know, in chemical dependency. No, but if you start thinking that you need to take a tablet or something whenever you feel awful, whenever you feel bad, you're gonna start having a psychological dependency of that. And that happens not only with, meds, it also happens with habits and such. If you feel like you need to exercise every time you feel bad, you probably will have a psychological dependency on exercising when you feel bad. It might develop to be a problem, you might not. It's a very dangerous thing, psychological dependency too, so that's why I say be careful with it. I was talking to a friend, he said he was also thinking about taking the meds he used to take again. And I mean, he studies psychology, he has some knowledge of how meds work, of how that whole thing goes. So he obviously understands way more than I do. But I told him, it makes me a bit of a hypocrite, but I don't care, I am totally a hypocrite. Who isn't nowadays, right? Yeah, I'm totally a hypocrite. I told him to be careful, and that made me start thinking of maybe I should be careful. It's one of the things that made me decide not to take them. And again, I feel great today. Not great, I feel okay today. I feel normal, which is great. Feeling normal beats feeling like shit, like by 100 miles. I so much prefer the metric system, but we're not gonna get into that. I said that every video too, don't I? We're not gonna get into that. Ugh. Awful. But yeah, going back to it, I went on a really large tangent on the psychological dependency there. Just be careful not to get your mind wired in a way that makes you only get better if you do a certain thing, because eventually if you keep doing that and you keep believing that, it's gonna be true. Yeah. Bad days, bad weeks, bad months sometimes. I hope I'm not actually like contributing to making people feel worse. Don't feel bad for taking your meds. Maybe I made you feel like it's a wrong thing. It's not. It's not at all. I think actually it's a very big stigma, the whole medication thing. There's this stigma of, oh, you shouldn't. Actually, there's stigma on both sides. There's people saying all the time, you should take your meds all the time. And there's people also saying on the other side, you shouldn't take your meds ever. Which is very counterproductive, I think. I think you need to find, your middle ground. Because meds do help. They help a lot. I think it's important to take them with psychological help, like seeing a therapist and talking to people when you need to. Having a support group is very important, I think. Having people you can rely on is very important. Because, yeah, I know, my first video is about being alone. But the thing is, being alone at certain moments is important, and it's not a bad thing. People do need to learn to, live with themselves. But also having other people you can count on is very important. So, this video is a mess, and I have no idea what I'm saying. Yeah. Also, it's day. Have you noticed it's day? It's clear, it's bright, it's beautiful, and it's great, just nice. It's clear and bright, like I just said 2 seconds ago. Man, I really can't. But yeah, just to finish off things, sometimes, some days are just impossible. And that's okay. You do what you need to feel okay when that kind of stuff happens. I don't know. Yeah, it's the last you're gonna see of me today. Next video is on Tuesday. Every video is out either on a Tuesday or on a Friday. And hope you liked it. Like if you like. If you didn't, well, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to get better. Bye.